is truth not the only guide we have? I use the question, is it out of love, to guide my personal choices because of this. Yeah, that's nice on the human level to be guided by that. But you've got to understand, a lot of people don't know what that means and don't know what love is. So to a lot of people, love is about falling in love and having the other person, and that falling in love is a pleasure that comes up in the body. So what does "is it out of love" mean? That's a very complex question. Or is it out of selfishness? So the opposite would be, is it out of hate? Okay, so that's maybe easier, like if it's not out of hate. To me, love would be like an expansive feeling and in the human flow. Like, so with a friend of mine, I only go to them, or we only talk about stuff that is difficult when I'm feeling expanded feelings, and they also, when they feel expanded feelings, and not when we feel like uncomfortable, difficult feelings. We do sometimes speak in that place, but most of the time we come from this expanded place, and then the communication works so much better. But this is a really difficult thing. So the guide of, is it out of love? I've met cult leaders that proclaim everything they're doing is out of love. Love is a very difficult thing to define. And a lot of people that I meet, even though they try to think it isn't, they think love is falling in love. And they're looking for that high pleasure experience, which is an experience. Recognition of other as the same. I think these are really complex ideas, David. They're not like simple. It's like, you know, you go to these online talks and teachers, and they're really beautiful and they're teaching, including myself, and then they'll say dramatic statements, including myself. I'm just as guilty as this. And then we take that dramatic statement on, because the dramatic statement is meant to push you out of your old ideas and make you explore greater, bigger ideas, which is beautiful. And it's also easier to teach if you have more solid ideas. But that is an infinitely complex idea. The way that I do it is I try to act when my body feels expansive. So when it feels expansive towards something. But that's not always the case, because there's sometimes, you know, when you're in difficult situations and it's not like that. Yeah. I think it's better than acting out of hate. It's a step up. But then think of all those people that feel lots of negative emotions. You give them that idea and it's just another thing for them to beat themselves up on. Are people that are listening, do they have a stable identity? Do they have clear sight? If not, then these ideas just go straight in, like a snake, straight into their self-destructive ideas and their negative patterns. Apologies about my left brain. I don't get to talk about this much. I know. I think this might have been why I originally started speaking. Like this love for it, and then this love to express it. It's so beautiful, isn't it, to speak about this subject and to push outside of what we think. And don't apologize at all. I think it's great what you said. And then I had a response. It's great. I mean, that is such a step up. Most of the time, you know, people are acting out of reactivity, hate, anger, neglect, difficult conditions. So the idea of acting out of love, I mean, that has potential for being a great idea, but it also could be destructive. It could also become cult-like. We are acting out of love. I have been in organizations like that. I have been in many organizations, and I've been in an organization where everyone's acting out of love, and it's creepy because it's intellectual and it becomes cultish, And that those ones are the devil people that are acting out of neurosis. We act out of love. I'm really in this mood today, aren't I, where I'm like, giving and destroying, giving and destroying. This is the nature of everything, isn't it? The tree grows up and then it's destroyed. Yeah, thanks, David, for your question. And I love it. No apologies. I understand what you mean. There needs to be a good understanding of love to use this. Yeah. Yeah. And then sometimes people think, I know what love is. Love is behaving like this. I was involved in this Buddhist group, and they were a beautiful group, but there was very much like the ethos was to act with peace. And my God, there was so much passive aggression there. My God. I'd have just liked to have had it out. I'm not sure, actually. Yeah.